Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Oh, Salakia. The whole Bible is a history book. You know what I'm saying? But like I said again, this is the ISUPK starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any other Israelite group or religious organizations out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? The ISUPK been teaching the truth according to the Bible since 1969, waking up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from the deep sleep that this society or that these heathens, the other nations have put them in. You know what I'm saying? We have brothers and sisters that's in Hinduism, in Islam, in Rastafari, and you name it, we're dabbling in it. Catholicism, Christianity, and all of it's a farce. It's a lie. There's nothing true about it. They have no God. They are all idols. You know what I'm saying? But tonight is the Monday night history class. This is the ISUPK Nashville School. We're located on 1811 Dr. D.B. Todd Boulevard, right behind Ed's Fish. You can't miss us. You know what I'm saying? Class starts from 7 to 9. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go ahead and get into it. What we're going to tap into tonight is how the curses are seen throughout our history. the Willie Lynch letters and the making of a slave. You know what I'm saying? I've been recapping on this little book, or this letter, may I say, and it lines up with what the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? The Black and the Black group said that this was written after the fact. You know what I'm saying? That they really didn't use this book to train us how to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? So even if they wrote this afterwards, you know what I'm saying, it lines up with the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And that's what we're going to go through. I'm going to read the Willie Lynch letters, you know what I'm saying, and correlate it with the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So first, let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 12. Genesis chapter 15, verse 12. So likely. Let me check and see if everything's toward before I proceed. All right. Genesis chapter 15, verse 12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. So when he went into this deep sleep, you know what I'm saying, he a great horror fell upon him. You know what I'm saying? So like he would have nightmares. You know what I'm saying? He might have a night tremors or something like that. But whatever happened, it was a nightmare. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. Verse 13. And he said to Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Well, right here, there is speaking about Egypt. You know what I'm saying? When the children of Israel, you know what I'm saying, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they came into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And they was afflicted and served Egypt for 400 years until Moses received the commandment from the Lord to combat against Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? To take the children of Israel out. You know what I'm saying? Cross the Red Sea, over into the wilderness. Okay? Verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with a great substance. And that's the same thing that's going to take place in America. You know what I'm saying? We've been here 500 plus, 400 plus years. You know what I'm saying? We serve this nation. They dealt harshly with us. You know what I'm saying? Great afflictions. And verse 14, and also that nation who they serve, who they shall serve, I will judge. And after that, they will come out with great substance. Verse 15, and thou shalt go in thy father's peace, and shall be buried in a good old age. All right. So that just set the precedence of everything that happened in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And we know what happened in Egypt. Egypt was destroyed. We got the Passover coming up at BH Ranch in Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Coming up on April 4th. You know what I'm saying? So the same way how the Lord dealt with Egypt, the same way that the Lord's going to deal with America and any other place that's afflicted the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? All of it's going to come boil down to this third world war that's building up in Israel with Iran and all surrounding countries. You know what I'm saying? All nations are going to be drawn into this war. You understand? So let's get into this. This is Salakia. This is Willie Lynch, Willie Lynch letter, and the making of a slave. So we'll just jump around in this, and we'll see, and we'll just break it down. All right. So it says the first Africans, which we all know now that we were Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Africans went to war with us, rounded us up. You know what I'm saying? Captured us and sold us unto the Grecians. You know what I'm saying? The first Africans in America arrived through Jamestown, Virginia in 1619 as indentured labor or servants. The first ones. From about 1619 to 1640, the laws through Europe and the Americas removed all human individuality from abducted Africans and named them. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? Throughout Europe and Americas, removed all human individuality. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, they stripped us of our humanity. You know what I'm saying? And abducted Africans named them property. The U.S. Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, like Roger P. Stanley, ensured that the law did not protect slaves, but it imbued their white oppressors in physical, mental, and psychological abused them with full supremacy. So therefore, in every way that they chose to abuse us, they did. You know what I'm saying? The Epstein Island been around for centuries. You know what I'm saying? This what's going on in the news now is just the latest. You know what I'm saying? The latest exposed. So let's get this. We're gonna move to Salakia. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. The book of Deuteronomy 28, 68. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. There we go again. You know what I'm saying? The correlation between Egypt, the 400 years that Abram was told about, you know what I'm saying? Then the children of Israel actually going into Egypt. And now in Deuteronomy, it's a prophecy saying that we will go into Egypt. So nobody, hold on, let me get finished. Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way thereof that I spake unto thee. Well, you don't have to take a ship to get into Egypt. It's walk, you can walk. You know what I'm saying? From Israel, you know what I'm saying, straight into Egypt. You don't have to take a ship. So therefore, the scriptures ain't talking about physical Egypt. This is a spiritual Egypt that we'll go to. Egypt is a Greek word meaning Egyptos, meaning bondage. You know what I'm saying? They understood what the Pharaoh did to the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? What ship? By the way thereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you. Well, what did it say in the letter? It says throughout Europe and Americas, removed all human individuality from abducted meaning kidnapped, stolen, kidnapped Africans and named them property. We were stolen and we was named property. There was buying, selling, trading, gambling. You know what I'm saying? We was a commodity. We was like buying puppies from somebody selling pit bulls. In their constitution, we're said to be 3/5 of a man. 3/5. Subhuman. Right? Let's keep reading. No Negro, whether slave or free, could ever be considered a citizen of the United States. The horrible judge wrote. The honorable judge wrote. I said it right the first time. He was horrible. In 1640, Maryland became the first colony to institutionalize slavery in Americas. In 1641, Massachusetts, in its written legislation titled Body of Liberties, stated that bondage was legal servitude. So for you to be a slave in Massachusetts in 1640, it's legal for you to be a slave to work. It's legal. It's legal servitude. At that moment, changing the status of African hostages to automatic chattel slaves that would be bought and sold at a discretion of their white owners. Let's read 68 again. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by way thereof. I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. You know what I'm saying? It says right here, bondage was legal servitude. That the moment changed the status, the moment changed the status of African hostages to automatic chattel slaves that could be bought and sold in the discretion of their white owners. It's unfolding already. You know what I'm saying? I can pack up, shut down class. There you go, right there, and move no further. But still, our people out there still fight to love our oppressors. Oh, they all ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? They all ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Billy, he cool. We sit up and smoke weed at Billy. That don't make you cool. Billy cool. That just make Billy a junkie and you a junkie. And birds of a feather flock together. Especially if you paying. If the dime's on you, Billy gonna be cool as I don't know what. Roger's a good old pal. I'll invite Roger to the barbecue because he know how to do the cha-cha slide. The integrity of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have dwindled themselves down so low. The self-respect and dignity and honor that we used to carry with our heads held high, now we walk around with our heads low. And if we do have our heads high, it's under a false pretense. You're just trying not to ruffle the feathers of the oppressor, of the white man. I'm just trying to go to work and get my 8 hours and go home while you kissing boots and kissing tail and licking boots. For that $18 an hour. When this letter will unfold the whole system of how they broke our people down, how they exploited our people, and you can see the same thing going on today. Just like in was it Genesis 1 and 10? They deal wisely with us. They gave us family first. They gave us what's that? What else did they gave us WIC vouchers and projects where they had to kick the man out if the woman would like to would have a place to live, get food in her stomach, not knowing that she could have depended on the male or on her man for those same things. All we have to do is show brotherhood and sisterhood and work together. So let's keep reading. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the banks of the James River in the year of our Lord 1712. So it's 1712 when this letter was written. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colonies of Virginia, for bringing me here. So William or Willie Lynch was a so-called East Indian. He's Elam of the Bible, and you know how East Indians are like cockroaches in the West Indies, Trinidad, Barbados. They over there trying to draw straws for Jamaica right now. It's overwhelmed with these funky armpit. No, hey, it's a hard thing to stand next to an East Indian. Very hard. You got to have a gas mask and some Airwicks, some Glade spray, some cologne, some cool water or something to mask the funk of their armpits. It's like they're born with a body stench. But anyway, this bastard done beat his slaves in the West Indies to the point where he came up a system of buck breaking. And that's what these letters are all about. These are sharing his systematic ways to control Negro slaves. And if you pay attention to this letter and go out here in the streets and look, or just social media, period, and look how our people conduct themselves. They've lost morals. They lost respect of self-respect, dignity, honesty, honor. Those things are way gone. They want to hold the streets to a higher plateau and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I got respect in the streets, but end up sleeping with your brother's wife, your brother's girl. They rob your brother. You know what I'm saying? They breaking into your grandmama's house, stealing her TV and her little piggy bank. They taking anything. There's no such thing as respect in the streets. The only thing in the streets that they respect are them slave catchers, the police. The slave patrol, which is just another arm of white supremacy that they use to beat our people down and trod on their backs, rub their heel in their necks. How many I can't breathe shirts or moments do we have to have? Now we got ICE running around here, the new and improved slave catcher. The terminator of slave catchers, because they don't respect the very Constitution that everybody claim is their tool for salvation, that makes everything fair. Not knowing, Negro, when the Constitution was written, we were slaves. They probably signed the Declaration of Independence and all that on a nigga's back. And now we don't even have no fight. The only ones that's fighting on the earth, you know what I'm saying, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the men in the ISUBK under Commander General Hunt. That no holds barred, unapologetically go out and speak the words of God and show the downfall of this nation and the rise of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let them know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And it's sad to see our people, after all this anguish that we've been through, kiss up to them, play their game, try to defend the oppressor. They want to give them the same glory that belongs to us. But anyway, let's keep reading. First, I shall thank you for the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods of control of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program is implemented. So why do he bring up ancient Rome? What's the significance of him saying ancient Rome would be proud of the methods, or would envy us of my program is implemented? Because Rome had Israelites in slavery too. Rome had Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in slavery too. Let's keep reading. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for stapling human bodies along its old highways in great numbers, you here are using the tree and the rope on occasion. So there you go, another reference to Christ. They hung Christ up on a tree because he was rebellious, because he was speaking out against the Romans, against the Sadducees and Pharisees. He wasn't a revolutionary that tried to raise his people up to tell them not to follow the laws of God, and they killed him for it. But this wicked bastard Willie Lynch was like, oh yeah, I see how y'all do the same things as Rome. Y'all use the tree and rope on occasion. Let's keep reading. I caught the whiff of dead slaves hanging from the trees a couple miles back. You are not only losing valuable stock by hanging, you are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the field too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires and animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know that your problems are. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. So right there, that let us know that we wasn't no slouches even in slavery. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even slouches. It's like, hey, you do something to us, we revolting. We gonna burn this down. They had to call an outside source to come in and help. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I am here to introduce you a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method of controlling your black slaves, and I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. 300. Let's do the math. So he was there, what was it, 1640? 1641. So we can say around 1645. He said, if implemented correctly, that he will control the slaves for at least 300 years. 300 years. That take it up to 1945? So if they put a remix on it and re-implement it, remix on it, re-implement it, take your mind away from the house. That's heavy. So we're still caught in the trance from the Willie Lynch program. So now it's Willie Lynch eugenics. Now it's Willie Lynch Jim Crow. Now it's Willie Lynch redlining. Now it's Willie Lynch feminist movement. All they do is tear it down, repackage it, and send it back out for the pigs to eat. And that's how we've became. We've laid down with beasts and inherited all their ways. We've inherited all of their ways. Not some, not a little, but all of their ways. We didn't trade our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for the God of the Caucasian man, for Caesar Borgia. So let's go to chapter 28 and 48. Let's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, and until he have destroyed thee. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And if English, we didn't understand English, and whatever language that them Africans over there were speaking at the time, we didn't understand that. We're trying to gather ourselves, get ourselves together, and rebuild. But it was already set in motion. All these curses has already been set in motion. We'd have to come back and ask for forgiveness as a whole nation. Come back to Lord as a whole nation. Because just like with Saul when he went against the Edomites, it was one brother that caused Saul to lose all the wars. One brother sinned. Saul sinned. No, Salaki. Saul sinned. Saul was supposed to kill the Amalek king, and he let him live, and he kept all the heifers and the best of the livestock and all that, and Saul lost the kingdom. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this bastard is now. Now, you know what I'm saying? William Lynch. We'll get into it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves. I have taken these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it works throughout the South. So this is what he's doing. It's like a clinic, because he's been going throughout all over the South teaching people how to keep their slaves in check. And that's the same thing that these slave catchers now, you know what I'm saying, with all these shootings and the beatings and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, all these people that have been killed by the police over the years, sicking dogs on them, water hoses, you know what I'm saying? That's to keep the other Negroes in check. You know what I'm saying? All this during the cowboy days, when they was hunting Indians or Native Americans down, the so-called Native Americans, Gadites, you know what I'm saying, hunting them down and scalping them. They was saying they'll give you $5 a scalp. $5 a scalp back in the 1400s, 1400. That's a ton of money. That's about a month worth of wage. And they killed millions. And that's why the Native Americans started scalping them. Everything that our oppressor complained about their atrocities that happened to them during one war, the next, how Native Americans and why black people was rebellion against slavery and murdered or killed to be free, they complained about because they've done it to us first. Every time there was what's his name? It slipped my mind. The Nat Turner Revolt. He was going through killing village after village because he wanted his freedom. And they painted him as a villain because a man wanted to be free. Now I'm wrong because you come to my house and steal from me, and I come back and take my stuff back. I'm wrong. Goodbye. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his maidservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You know what I'm saying? And when he said something about our great king, where is that? Where is that at? But it is like he was trying to play these people. Hold on, where does it say that at? Yeah, as our boat sailed south on James's River, named for our illustrious king. So He's speaking on King James, right? Whose version of the Bible we cherish. He doesn't cherish nothing about the Bible. He doesn't cherish nothing about the Bible, because if not, he would have read what I just read. You know what I'm saying? Because he's taking people, he's taking their wives, he's taking their oxen, all that. They're taking all that. They're stealing all that and making it their own. They lost their humanity. Now they're nothing but property. Let's keep going. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it is there only because it starts with an A. Then the second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, status on plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slave lives in the valley or on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. So have fine hair. So you know that we come in all different shades. We have kinky hair, long, straight, long, curly, some fine hair, you know what I'm saying? And what his course of action was to pit them against each other, to break up the bond, break up the brotherhood. Because all we had when we was in bondage or in slavery was each other. And this bastard knew it. That's why the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, the Caucasian man couldn't figure out how to keep us tame. Because every time he did something to us, we rebelled. Every time they killed one of us, we rebelled. Because we understood brotherhood. We understood sisterhood. We understood we was all that we had, so we stuck together. That's why whenever we was set free, you know what I'm saying, that we built these cities. We built Rosewood. We built Seneca Village. We built Wilmington, North Carolina. Even Nashville, Black Bottom, Nashville, Tennessee. Greenwood. All from Spence Lane all the way to where all the way down to the Capitol. All the way west, I want to say to where Interstate 40 is now. All that was black. Jefferson Street. Historic Jefferson Street. Fisk University. We understood that that's all we had. We stuck together until the devil came through and broke us up. And they used our own people to do it. There's always a sellout somewhere. Ask Jesse Jackson if there is such thing as a sellout. Ask Martin Luther King. Ask Malcolm X if there's something that's a sellout. They said I was watching the documentary, and this black dude, he was worked for the CIA, or no, he was an FBI agent. He said we was going to infiltrate the Black Panther Party in New York City until we found out that New York cops was all throughout the Black Panther Party. That's how you got the Panther 21. They were set up. They knew who to target. Let's keep reading. Hold on. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulteration. Respect is or admiration. You know what I'm saying? Distrust. Let me say, distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulteration, respect, and or admiration. You can't say that doesn't destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans now. All this big what was it? Big U, Nipsey Hussle. Well, Nipsey Hussle was a heathen, but still, you know what I'm saying? The fact remains that Big U couldn't control Nipsey. Envy, distrust. Big Jew, Young Dolph, all these other rappers that died, Tupac, Biggie, distrust, envy. You know what I'm saying? Who else? 50 Cent getting shot 9 times. You know what I'm saying? Distrust, envy. That's why most households break, because of distrust and envy. You got something, I want it, I'll do whatever I got to do to get it. What's that young man in Chicago that killed his mom over the life insurance money? All these robbers and backstabbers, you know what I'm saying? All these cliques that fell, that's in the world, you know what I'm saying? Because of distrust and envy. There's 1,000 stories out there, and it's all set up. But we'll let him sell drugs and let him be the kingpin, and he'll set up everybody else, and there's somebody who's gonna snitch on him. Somebody either gonna rob him, try to kill him, set him up, kidnap his paid in full. All these documentaries, especially in the black community, the only reason why they got a story behind it because somebody told and snitched for one reason or the other. Hold on. Go back to Deuteronomy. Let me see. $28. See, 50. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 53. Let me see. Go to 52. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, that throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, and the flesh of thy sons, and the flesh of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards his wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And what's that sound like? You know what I'm saying? That's the very, very thing that we go through now through this through the welfare system, where they give our women places to stay, but the man has to leave. They can't stay with their children. You know what I'm saying? They think that they're doing it for the betterment of their children, sneaking back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But then that woman is going to get high-minded. Or them children are going to grow up when that little girl, you know what I'm saying, grows up without the father being there. Then she don't understand that they're trying to get something for nothing, depending on the oppressor for raiment, for clothing, for shelter. She don't know that about the stipulations, that the hoops that they got to jump through for that. So she growing up, I ain't have a daddy in my house. Then that's the basis of the strong, independent woman. That's the basis. Then these young men growing up without a father in the house, acting effeminate. That's the destruction of the black mind, of the family structure, the very nucleus that keeps this nation together. Let's keep reading. Okay. Verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of his flesh, of his children, whom he shall eat. So he will destroy those children. You know what I'm saying? Because he have nothing left him in the siege, and the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Then, you know what I'm saying, there's so much pressure on the black man, woman and child, Black, Hispanic, Native American man, you know what I'm saying, to provide for his family, but there's nothing out here for us. You know what I'm saying? Now the table's just now starting to turn around, where good opportunities are coming for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because it's kingdom's fault. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor's so lazy, you know what I'm saying? Their kids 30 and under, they don't want to do nothing but play video games. They want to do stocks. You know what I'm saying? They want to be nurse assistants. They're doing the jobs that women used to do back in the like early 90s, 80s, and 70s. Their men want to hang they pants up. They all want to be metrosexuals, homosexuals, pansexuals, whatever sexual, whatever sexual out there that's a deviant. That's what they want to be. They're far in between that want to do work, vigorous work with your hands. They want to ease. They want to be in AC, climate controlled areas. They don't want to do no work, and they stop having sex with their women. That's why their society is losing, getting smaller and smaller. White people have more deaths than births. There's more deaths than births. And most of it is because they passed homosexual laws, trying to get us to follow in their wicked ways. All right, let's keep reading. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black males versus the young black males. Hey, that's why they claim that there's a generational gap between the YNs, the ONs, the UNCs, the old schools, They try to play us like we don't understand what the youth is growing up to. Like oppression changed for them. Like racism stopped or got harder when they got here. It's just a remix of the same tricks that the devil has put on this earth. To confuse the minds of our children. They got homosexual running rapid. They got transgenderism. You know what I'm saying? You can go get the government to pay for every surgery that you need for you to be a woman, for a man to be a woman or a woman to be a man. They'll pay it all insurance. All you got to do is pay the copay. And they'll fund the whole transformation for young black boys to become women or try to become women. And if you know anything about the Grecians and the Romans, hey, they love fun boys. They love them. They'll jump over 20 women to get some homosexuals. That's why they're trying to get all these so-called Hispanics up out of the country, because they reproduce too fast. Because like, hey man, we almost got these blacks under control. They women don't want to have kids. They want to pursue their careers. We almost got that on lock. Except for these damn Isupk brothers. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing with us because we're going to teach the truth regardless. The Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. We're trying to get the rest of our brothers and sisters to get back on that natural course. You know what I'm saying? Because history shows that they have an alt with us. They hate us from the womb. They can't even explain why racism exists, because it's something from the womb. We always gonna be it up because we better than them. We run faster, jump higher, cook better, dance better, sing better. You name it. You name it. We even make poverty look good. We even make struggle look good. We got struggle food, struggle meals, taste delicious. Delicious. If they flip-flop with us, they'd probably kill themselves in a year. A year's time. The obituaries be filled up. The funeral homes be filled up. Here lies Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, or whatever. Pick a name. We make struggle look so good that other nations, the Japanese got a cholo culture. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make their hair nappy so they can have afros like niggas. Let's keep reading. See. Don't forget to pitch. You must pitch the old black males versus the young black males, and the young black males against the old black males. You must use the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, the Albie Shures versus the Wesley Snipes. We still joke about that. Salaki. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, but it is necessary for your slaves to trust and depend on us. So what do we see with the police? You must have your white servants and your overseers distrust all blacks, We always fit the description. They're taking a tactic out of an old playbook. They're following this to the T still. But it's written, what do the police say? Shoot, their policies. It's written in their policies in language that we wouldn't understand. We wouldn't understand it because they twist words. Get you a Black's Law dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Because they twist words. It is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. So whoever's paying your lights, that's why you hear brothers always talking about on social media that if I was your boss, you wouldn't be talking to me like that. But you would come home and talk dog to her man, cuss out her kids. You don't pay me. I ain't your slave. That's going back to this. Let's keep reading. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and your children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. For one, it only takes a man 1 year. 1 year. To destroy the trust of a slave. Because you know why? Because his trust isn't in the Lord. He's beaten down and trodden, whipped. 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 The life just beat out of him. He's alive, just like they said. Kill the Indian, save the man. They did the same thing to us. They probably used this same tactic on the Native Americans. Well, let's go back to what worked. What works? And now we got so many distractions in the world. Everybody want to be a fake thug or a homo thug. When man, brothers wearing skirts and kilts and skinny jeans and purses and clutches. Want to be a gangster? That ain't gangster, bro. What's gangster is sticking with your brothers and sisters. What's gangster is you standing on this side of the line against the oppressor, showing brotherhood and sisterhood to your brothers and sisters. Not indulging in weed smoke, cigarette smoke, you know what I'm saying? Whoredom, whoremongering. When are we going to stop falling for the tricks? Somebody waves some money to you, you know what I'm saying? You willing to do anything for it. Kill your brother. Lie to your sister. Lie to your mama. Lie to yourself. Thinking that you're envying what everybody has on TV. The cars that they drive. The clothes that they wear. The Goyards and the APs and the Rolexes and the red bottom Louis Vuittons and all this and that, knowing that you can't afford it. You spending your baby's daycare money to get some tracks in your hair and go to the club. Hold on, I'm gonna read this last one real quick, and I'm gonna get up out of here. We're gonna do a part 2 to this. You know what I'm saying? What it say? Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which you should not adventure to set the soles of her foot upon the ground. At one point in time, we wouldn't even let the soles of your foot touch the ground. You were so tender and delicate. Your femininity, not feminism, but your femininity was on high. You used your wisdom, not backbiting and all this arguing and what you gonna do for me. That's prostitution. Oh, you gotta pay my babysitting if you want to go on a date. Where do they do that in? How as a people have we stooped so low to put your time, you know what I'm saying, for hire? I can't even get to know a sister without putting money in the meter. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got to put $200 in the meter just to get an hour. That's prostitution. All learned from our oppressor. That feminist movement that started in the 30s when their men was at war and the women was here, we didn't go through all that. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we didn't go through that oppression with them. We didn't go through that depression. We didn't have to struggle with white America when they was going through their Great Depression. They wouldn't even let us bank with them. So our money stayed in our community. We said that's white, WPS. Let them handle that on their own. And we'll handle this on our own. Black business, that's white business. Let them handle their own business. Just like this war over there, let them handle that. Don't sign your kids up to go to war to get murdered. Next thing you know, your son's flying back home in a box. Your daughter's flying back home in a box. Or urn. Or a dog tag. How many more wars do we got to send our people to war for this country to get no respect in return? They don't even respect their own servicemen. How many millions of armed veterans that fought for this country that's homeless, that have mental illnesses and homeless for a GI Bill? You did it for a GI Bill. How many of our people come back broken? PTSD. They shell shocked. For what? Go to college? And what's going to college going to give you nowadays? You know, people who I'm at my slavery right now, been to college to be engineers, pharmacists, what's that? Paralegals, and couldn't get a job. Now they over here at this blue collar job making less than I am. I ain't saying don't go to college, you know what I'm saying? But don't go join the military with hopes to go into college, because you might not come home. And if you come home, you're going to be broke. You're going to go through therapy, session after session, trying to forget what you've seen over there. We've seen in the past that sisters get raped, murdered, abused, essayed, excuse me, Slakia, graped. Shalakia. I ain't rolling the dice. But anyway, but but like I said, we're gonna do a part 2 of the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave and how it correlates with the curses in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But this is the ISUPK Nashville, Tennessee school, for 1811 Dr. D.B. Todd Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? This is the Monday night history class. And this is the ISUPK, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite groups or religious organizations. We got the Passover coming out April 4th in Houston, Texas at the BH Ranch. You know what I'm saying? I forget, as a 56 Player Street. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a hell of a time. You know what I'm saying? Is $200 for every adult or every person 17 or older. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't paid your Passover fees, pay your Passover fees, pay your tithes, help support this truth so our people can travel to and fro. We can have these food programs, these prison programs. We can get out to you and try to bring you into this truth. You know what I'm saying? Teach you about your history and your heritage according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And that's my time. Shalom.